to quit, I have no reason. I mean, I'm asleep, but I be trying to live my dreams. I cannot even act if it's all easy. Either you gon' do it or you don't. Really, it ain't no in between. Baby, you can ask the sun. It's an everyday theme. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay at night, I rest in peace. They remember me, but I am not Haram or beef.
mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z.
Once again, this broadcast has been brought to you by mypdfbooks.com, where reading funds the mental, and that's books with a Z. Also brought to you by bindedbooks.com, where treasures are bound. Be sure to go over to Herbs of Ma'at and get your teas, Ma'at Son's teas, divinely prepared, the tea of teas. Also be sure to check out all of those musical stylings by Brian Hicks Bay at bhbaymusic.com. For your everyday items and religious regalia, be sure to check out MoorishHaberdasher.com. And for that everyday especial Moorish drip, be sure to check out Moorsachi.com. And all of these companies are powered by ALO Design Pros. Design your online business strategy today. And without further ado, we introduce to you Sheikh Kari Goodman Bey.
Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace. Let me cut my camera on real fast so I can say peace to the people. Cut it off because I was writing some stuff down and class get started. But peace to everyone. How y'all doing today, family?
Excellent and magnificent.
Great. Peace and love.
Muy excelente.
Peace, peace, peace.
That sounds like Noble Lonzo.
Peace, 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 peace. Peace and love, tribe.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Peace to the family, man. Peace to Junior. Peace to everybody, man. Peace to his transition, man. And let's cover him, cover you, Noble Alonzo. As your son transition, it's not just a transition for him, it's a transition for the family. I know when those transitions happen, we're always proud, but we always have that, that parent thing. So I just want to put good spirits on him to make good decisions, surround himself around those that love him, and tell him, do not be worried about being different. Stay on it. And when you always right and when you always ready, you don't have to get ready. You heard me?
Gratitude. Gratitude and love.
Gratitude.
Amen.
Gratitude. Gratitude. The kids need it. Like I said, the young men need the people to talk to. That's something that I always teach and preach. And that's why, a lot of the kids say, hey man, you dope. It ain't because how smart I am. It's because I can relate. But do we do our Moorish American prayer?
Nope, not yet. We'll get to it.
Can you do it real fast?
I got it. Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, my salvation, by night, by day. Through his holy prophet, Drew Ali, Sheikh Goodman Bey, and all the mutiques on here. Peace, 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 peace. Inshallah and Ashe.
Peace, peace,
Peace, peace, peace, peace, peace, peace, peace.
But I want to show something, a lot of the work that I be doing out here when I be telling the youth, get with me. I support them. Everybody know me, man. I have so many pair of shoes. I sell things and I give things away and I have connections. So this right here is a brand new pair. I've been waiting for my homeboy son to hit me up in Vegas, but I tell kids, when you miss out, you miss out. These brand new, brand spanking new. Size, brand spanking new. Size 11. Brand new from the store. You can research it. I don't deal with no no bootleg, nothing. You can look them up. These from the store. And I be doing raffles. And so in the store, these cost like $125 with tax. What I be doing is a raffle. I'll sell 20 raffle tickets for $10, which is $200, for my time and my effort. And then whoever pull a ticket, they get the shoe. That's simple. People like, you ain't even trying to sell no whole bunch of tickets. I say, no, I sell it for $200 to make me a profit, but I'll do raffles, and I sold 20 raffle tickets to some youth right at the library. They like, you do this right now? I said, yeah, I just had them all right I wrote 1 to 20 on a piece of paper. They all gave me $10. I put it in a little hat, shook it all up, boom, 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 boom. Let one of the kids grab it, boom. They want the shoes. They like, man, will you do this every week? I said, yeah. Until all of them gone. You feel me? Who doing that?
Islam.
Nobody.
And so I'm going to show my brothers and sisters, it's a lot that come with it. And I'll be telling the youth, there's nothing wrong with being fresh. There's nothing wrong with having swag. But when you have that swag, you have to be smart too. And so a young man, he won these. I'm gonna drop him off at the swap meet when I go pick my wife up, you know. And I was like, man, he was like, I'm over there. A lot of the families on the weekends, that's where they be. So I'm gonna take them to him, you know. He's like, you gonna bring them to me? I said, yeah, my wife up there Sunday. So with that being said, man, let's get into this teaching. Put the clip up, put the tape in. Oh, man, I feel good. Gratitude, Noble Lamarck, for that amazing workout, as always.
You mean Malik?
Oh, yeah. My bad. You know what I meant. No, but gratitude, Malik, as always, a.k.a. Kill him, a.k.a. No, you're not.
That's what we do. Yes, I am. I am that I am.
My brother. But let's kick the ballistics, my brothers and my sisters. History of the black. And when I say black, please let's stay in context, because we know our nationality is not black, but we're using this for speaking references. We are quoting what's written, but not only we're going to quote what's written, we're going to show the pictures, just like the pen and the pictures. And what I'm here to illuminate I'm not worried about what nobody else think, because all scholars know what I'm showing. I'm talking about to my brothers and sisters that continuously doubt, that say we're not this, we're that. They say we're not that, we're this. Man, we all of that. If you're coming from a historical place, we all of that. Once you understand language, we all of that. Are y'all with me? If y'all with me, man, talk to me, man.
And a bag of chips. We all that in a bag of chips.
Wow.
Right with you.
Come on, my brothers. Come on, my brothers. And if anybody want to add on, please add on, because I'm going to read a little bit. And I would love for my brother Brian to read with me, or anybody else. I'll do a little bit, then I'll stop. And if anybody ready, they can pick up. If not, I will proceed. But in 1751, y'all, American statesman Benjamin Franklin. Oh, let me put I hope I can see in my glasses, because, oh my God. Whoa.
HD. You got to put it in HD. High definition.
All right. But watch this. We deal with scholarship. Benjamin Franklin wrote an essay titled, and I quote, for all my young brothers and sisters that get away, oh, Black history, slave. No. Write about something that's going to have them teachers be like, huh? Give them scholarship. Say, well, what about this? America as a land of opportunity. As part of the essay, Benjamin Franklin noted the demographics of Europe, the Americas, and Asia. As of his time, 1751. See, brothers and sisters, it's amazing how different the people of some areas look today. Much whiter because of war and expulsion. But nonetheless, Franklin's description of races in 1751 are in agreement with the artwork that we are about to present. Share this on your page, brothers and sisters. See, share it. One of my homies said, Chief, oh man, you ain't going to go. He said, brother, you go viral in real life. I said, man, I love what I do. I love what I do, man. I love it. Watch this. Title, America as a Land of Opportunity. Author Benjamin Franklin, year 1751. Why should the Palatine, Boers, Germans, peasant, farmers be suffered to swarm into our settlement, and by herding together, establish their language and manners to the exclusion of ours? Why should Pennsylvania founded by the English, become a colony of aliens who will shortly be so numerous as to Germanize us instead of our anglifying them, Anglo-Saxon. See, my European professor will tell you, when he read Revelation 2:9 and 3:9, he'll say, the Jews that say they are Jews, they're not the Jews, they're the synagogue of Satan. This is European. He said, they're not Caucasian. He said, they're Asians from the Caucasus Mountains. He said, other people can be mad. Anglo-Saxon, he was like, yeah, see? And will never adopt our language or customs any more than they can acquire, our complexion. Are y'all with me? See, it's no disrespect. It's no disrespect. We're talking about this is what's written. Franklin considered himself a pure white. He is saying that Germans were not white. Did y'all hear what I just said? Somebody say check. I mean, come on.
Check. He said the Germans were not white.
He only, who else said it? David McRitchie, the ancient and modern Britons. Who else said it? Russian icons, Vladimir Ivanhoe. I mean, should I go on? Who else said it? Bertrand Thomas of the ARAP, as we're going to illuminate tomorrow in Sunday school class. We might touch it if we got time today. See, we dropping bombs.
Even the census said it when they talk about the original peoples.
Say that again, my brother.
I say even the census says it when it's speaking about the original peoples.
Yes, sir. We're not. See, Noble Brown, we ain't here. We're not against rappers. We're not against rappers. But we are against those thugs. Y'all with me, man? Are y'all with me?
It's long.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right with you.
It's long, Chief.
Keep it going. I need some energy. Today's Germans are indeed white. And when I say white, no disrespect. I'm coming from the writer's writings. You know, I can get all historical and with linguistics, but right now, we're not doing that. We're using it for teaching purposes. So who were the original Germans? Etymology of the word German, Middle English, from Old French, Germain, Germain, from Latin Germanius, genuine, of the same parents. The term Germanic originated in the classical times when groups of tribes living in Lower, Upper, and Greater Germania were referred to using the label by Roman scribes. The Roman use of the term Germanic was not necessarily based upon language, but rather referred to the tribal group and the alliances that lived in the regions of modern-day Luxembourg, Belgium, the Netherlands, Zwarte Piet, the Netherlands, and Germany, and which were considered to be less civilized and more physically hardened than the Celtic Gauls. Tribe referred to as Germanic by Roman authors generally lived to the north and east of the Gauls. Y'all looking at pictures, right? Now, come on now. This is what I be saying. Oh, you got proof? Yeah, we got proof. We got the scholarship and we got the artifacts. What we talking about? Look at that. These were the Celtic Gauls. Roman coin struck in 48 BC commemorate the defeat of Vercingetorix. Picture the last king of Arvini. Look at the picture. Look at the hair. Oh my God. I said, oh my God. Modern Germanic people include the Afrikaners, the Austrians, the Danes, the Dutch, the English, the Flemish, the Friesans. Those sound like coat of arms, don't they? Family crest, of course. The Germans, the Icelands, the Lowland Scots, Norwegians, the Swedes, and others, including diaspora populations, such as some European Americans. In other words, all Western albinos per se. See, Eastern albinos are what? Slavs and Turks per se. All Caucasians albinos derive from Central and Eastern Asia. when we're talking about scholarship. Continuing with Franklin's essay, and I quote, which leads me to add one remark, that the number of purely white people in the world is proportionally very small. All Africa is black or tawny, Asia, and chiefly tawny. America, exclusively of the newcomers. Wholly so. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Brothers and
Yeah,
sisters?
basically saying in the beginning the world was dark.
I mean, and we're gonna sit here and play and act like, oh well, it don't matter no more. It do matter. If it didn't matter, why we didn't tell the truth? Why we not telling our kids this? Why it's not being taught? What are we afraid of? Well, it don't matter. It do matter. It do matter. Tawny obviously means brown. Africans and Native Americans are brown. Black per se, copper colored. Asians are mostly brown per se. The ancients. This is consistent with the artwork and artifacts that we're about to show. But where did red man, the skin, come from per se? Professor Roxanne Dunbar Ortiz states that the American settlers were paid bounties for killing the natives of the land. You call Indians, or we call Indians. And they gave a name to the mutilated and bloody corpses they left in the wake of the scalp hunts. Redskins. Continuing with Franklin's essay, and I quote eloquently with a silver tongue. And in Europe, the Spaniards, the Italians, the French, the Russians, and the Swedes are generally of what we call a swarty complexion, as are the Germans also. Are y'all with me?
Islam.
Islam.
So redskins can be like a derogatory term, huh?
Per se. Just like a person will say Morisco is derogatory and all that. Per se, depending on the Spanish person, when they say, look at this Morisco or this Moringo, you know what I mean?
Islam. So the design was always to project the reverse, that
yes,
a certain what you could say collection of people were the majority, when in fact they were not.
Yes.
Whitewash.
Yes. I mean, I've been connecting it for 2 days. Man, I told y'all, when I be live, my professor, I have my GCU thing up, my little GCU email, and we can go live on there. And they were like, did they hear what this brother just said? They like, he connected history and the biblical history. Russian Icon by Vladimir Ivanov. In the Russian icons, who are we talking about? What we looking at in Russian icons?
Looking at the indigenous people,
Moors.
the ancient
But
Moors.
what are we looking at? What, like in the Russian icon by Vladimir Ivanov? What are those pictures of? Of what?
Saints.
Oh. So if those are saints, and I'm showing all history, Saint Mark and all that, all the history in Russia, Europe, what am I saying?
That the piety and the nobility of the people was evident. They just whitewashed the history.
The dean
is there. You
and
not,
everybody
not a slave,
Europe
nigga, black and colored. You come from a royal, like the scriptures say, a holy nation.
Yeah. And we look stupid dissing the biblical scriptures. And brother, well, Islam is this, and they argue, and they both got the same forefathers. We just don't know language. We done got caught in the image. Islam think this person. Islam, like, man, I'm not in no image. I hear you, but I can go deeper with the science. But what I'm saying, this is scholarship. These are written by Europeans. We ain't denying the history. What? The people of the earth, and biblically, the stuff connects. The stuff start connecting.
Islam. And it was always, Chick, I could also add too to that it was absolutely necessary for them to whitewash the history, because they knew through the visual that they could trick the masses into seeing things that they were just the copy you, basically. So they put themselves in there, and what that would do is reinforce that mental slavery.
Come on.
What happened is perpetual. You know, so when you see things that are looking like you know, things start to conjure up things. So what they did, they had to remove the visual element, so that way you would never see yourself.
Islam.
Yes. Come on, Noble Alonzo. And that's what it is today. When we show proof, brothers doubt it. It's the doubt. It's the doubt. And that's what I said. We would never curse with understand. We'd know it was the land. We would be foreigners in our own land. Your knowledge and wisdom would be took from you. And now when it's been shown, you would diss it. That's sad.
Islam.
You
Give
see?
you a history that had nothing to do with you.
Yes. And we're not coming from no disrespect. How can we be? How can we be, y'all? We're not coming from this is what needs to be taught. And my professors, all in academia, I graduated with honors with a dual master's degree. They said, you're gonna have to teach this. They're like, this is what church is all about. This is for your people have to understand unity and understanding and donate and support something that's real. Like, you got the internet, you should be touching the masses. And I say, I'm reaching y'all. But I tell everybody, I'm not a poor righteous teacher. You know, I invested in my education. I invested in me. Other people invested in me. You know? And so I have a mission. So let's proceed. Where are we at? Okay. Continuing with Franklin's essay. Okay, I gave y'all that part. I told y'all Tawny. Okay, I gave y'all that. So continue with Franklin's essay quote, and Europe and the Spaniards, Italians, I gave y'all all that. Swarty, I'll just mean light brown skin or mulatto, which is consistent with the artwork that we're going to show. So continuing with Franklin's essay quote, the Saxons only expected who, with the English, make the principal body of white people, no disrespect, on the face of the earth. These are the pure albinos. I could wish their numbers were increased. And while we are, as I may call it, scoring our planet by clearing America of wood. By clearing America of woods. And so making this side of our globe reflect a brighter light to the eyes of inhabitants in Mars and Venus. Why should we, in the sight of our superior beings, darken its people? Why increase the sons of Africa by planting them in America, where we have so far an opportunity by excluding all blacks and tawnies of increasing the lovely white and red? But perhaps I am partial to the complexion of my country, for such kind of partiality is natural to mankind. White and red equals albino. This there right. Do y'all hear me?
Say it again.
Islam.
Say it
Can someone,
again.
Brian, would you read this little bit for me? I'll come back and read. Will somebody read? Take this right here. I'll come back and read a little more.
Islam.
Anybody?
The history. Holy Roman Emperor Charles IV from 1316 to 1378. House of Luxembourg, Father John of Bohemia, Mother Elizabeth of Bohemia. Charles IV is crowned emperor in Rome in 1355. He makes his capital in Prague. He has inherited Bohemia as well as Luxembourg, bringing that city its first period of glory. The imperial dignity remains in Charles's family until 1438, when it is acquired by the Habsburgs. At the beginning and the end of those 80 years, Charles and his son Sigismund takes a strong line with the papacy. Within a year of his coronation, Charles issued the Golden Bull of 1356, which excludes the Pope from any influence in the choice of an emperor. And in 1414, Sigismund is instrumental in bringing together the Council and Constance, which finally ends the Great Schism and restores a single pope to Rome. And this is a picture of the Holy Roman Emperor Charles IV, House of Luxembourg, kneeling before the Madonna in 1370. Fragment of votive picture of Archbishop Joe Oko of Balsam.
So that's a Tawny. That's the Tawny more. That's the picture of.
Come on, Alonzo, teach,
Okay.
teach.
Okay, Islam.
Christian Castle is a large Gothic castle founded in 1348 AD by Charles IV, Holy Roman Emperor elect and King of Bohemia. The castle served as a place for safekeeping the imperial regalia, as well as the Bohemian check, coronation jewels, holy relics, and other royal treasures. Located about 30 kilometers west of Prague, above the homonymic village, pardon me,
Yep.
is one of the most famous and most frequently visited castles in the Czech Republic.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's some nice architecture right there.
Yes, sir.
The Karlsruhe Castle. Founded in 1348, the construction works were directed later by Karlsruhe Burgrave Vitus of Bitov. But there are no records of the builder himself. Some historians speculate that Matthias of Arras may be credited with being the architect, but he had already died by 1352. It is likely that there was not a progressive and cunning architect, but a brilliant civil engineer who, with a necessary mathematical accuracy, solved technical, exigent problems that issued from the emperor's ideas and requests. Indeed, Holy Roman Emperor Charles IV personally supervised the construction works and interior decoration. A little known fact is that the emperor hired Palestinian labor for the remaining of the work. Construction was finished nearly 20 years later in 1365 when the heart of the treasury, the chapel of the Holy Cross situated in the Great Tower, was consecrated.
Now stop right there. Now, remember the other day I was showing, we were looking at the pictures. Was that last week? Yeah, I think that was last week. And all that St. Maurice, right? All those pictures, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Keep going, brother.
Following the outbreak of the Hussite Wars, the imperial regalia was evacuated in 1421 and brought via Hungary to Nuremberg. In 1422, during the siege of the castle, Hussite attackers used biological warfare when Prince Sigismund Korybut used catapults to throw dead but not plague infected bodies and 2,000 carriages load of dung over the wall. Disgusting. Apparently managing the spread infection among the defenders. Later, the Bohemian coronation jewels were moved to the castle and were kept there for almost 2 centuries with some short time breaks.
Uh-oh.
There's another picture of a tawny or Swarthy individual.
That's
And
a
this
swarthy.
is
That's
the
swarthy.
albino people. Say it again, Noble.
No, swarthy. That's a swarthy. Swarthy more.
Swarthy. The albino people are never ending in their silly anti-black contrivances. This rather strange, perhaps overpainted 14th century panel of a black knight / king painted between the years of 1357 and 1367 by Theodoric of Prague and found in Karlsruhe's Castle, Chapel of the Holy Cross, east wall of the choir, right side of the lower register, Prague, Czech Republic, is of course called a painting of Saint Maurice.
Of who?
Saint Maurice.
From last week, St. Maurice.
The black boy.
Hey, listen, man. I've been trying to tell brothers and sisters. A lot of our brothers is not educated enough scholastically. First century, medieval, the dark ages in Europe was Rome. Like what's happening in the world, we get so caught up in dogmatic. We get so caught up in one aspect of history. And I said, brothers, that's not science. That's not historical. Okay, so we're gonna diss all the artifacts that these people have been having for over years. And like, are we gonna be that crazy? And
Well,
then
this is the dark ages right here, right? This is the dark ages, I mean dark skinned people.
yes. And people be saying, and well, what happened? And then try to say like this, Nobles. Well, the Moors sold this out. And I said, see, you trying to just say because you see Fez and you saw on the internet when you saw Leopold made those people in the continent of Africa not only put on army uniforms and put on fezzes because you don't know the atrocities of that. You would sell your brother out worse than that. You would sell your brother out worse than that.
Humans sold humans out, right?
Yeah.
So
And that's what I be
you could
telling people.
replace the word more with humans sold humans out. So what we talking about?
Yeah, you got these militia in the continent of Africa right now killing each other. People in villages. Hell, Leopold made them Africans put that on. You either gonna die and fight for what you live, or you're gonna be a sucker and sell out and help capture your own people. That's what a lot of them did. Hell, and then Hitler regiment, they wore the fez and they study Islam. So what we be talking about, that's the excuse we be making. And I said, stop that, man. Stop that. We're talking about the right science. Proceed, brother.
Islam. Jan Hus, circa 1369, July 6 to 1415, was a Czech priest, philosopher, reformer, and master at Charles University in Prague. After John Wycliffe, the theorist of ecclesiastical reformation, he was, before Luther, Calvin, and Zwingli, the first actual church reformer. The Hussite Wars, also called the Bohemian Wars, involved the military actions against and amongst the followers of Jan Hus in Bohemia in the period of 1419 to circa 1434. The Hussite movement assumed a revolutionary character as soon as the news of the execution of Jan Hus by order of the Council of Constance on the 6th of July, 1415, reached Prague. The knights and nobles of Bohemia and Moravia, who were in favor of church reform, sent a protest to the Council of Constance on the 2nd of September, 1415, known as the Protestatio Bohomorum, which commended the execution of Hus in the strongest language. The attitude of Sigismund, Holy Roman Emperor, who sent threatening letters to Bohemia declaring that he would shortly drown all Wycliffes and Hussites, greatly incensed the people. Between 1420 and 1431, the Hussite forces defeated 5 consecutive papal crusades against followers of Hus. Their defense and rebellion against Roman Catholics became known as the Hussite Wars. A century later, as many of the 90% of the inhabitants of the Czech lands were non-Catholic and followed the teachings of Hus and his successors. John Wycliffe, circa 1328 through 1384, was an English scholastic philosopher, theologian, lay preacher, translator, reformer, and university teacher who was known as early as dissident in the Roman Catholic Church during the 14th century. His followers were known as Lollards, or a somewhat rebellious movement which preached anti-clerical and biblical-centered reforms. The Lollard movement was a precursor to the Protestant Reformation. For this reason, Wycliffe is sometimes called the Morning Star of the Reformation. He was one of the earliest opponents of papal authority influencing secular power. The castle underwent several reconstructions in the late Gothic style after 1480, in Renaissance style in the last quarter of the 16th century. In 1487, the big tower was damaged by fire, and during the 16th century, there were several adaptations. During the 30-year War in 1619, the coronation jewels and the archive were brought to Prague. And in 1620, the castle was turned over to Ferdinand II, Holy Roman Emperor. After having been conquered in 1648, the Swedes, it fell into despair. Finally, a neo-Gothic reconstruction was carried out by Josef Macher between 1887 and 1899, giving the castle its present look.
Check that out. Now look at this. I'll take over gratitude. I'll read a little bit more. If anybody else want to read, just say so. I'll take over gratitude, Brian, for eloquently reading that. Gratitude. And that's what I tell brothers. When you read it for yourself, it's so powerful. And then when you go back and read it, because it means things. It's just like praying when person say you can't pray. Yes, you do. It's in you. It should come out. It's flowing. Freestyle per se. But the Holy Roman Emperor, Charles IV, look at those pictures. Receiving Christ's relics from the French Dauphin. Christine Castle, Czech Republic. The Dauphin, Charles I of Vionis, 1338, 1380. Also King of France. Look at this. Charles V, Dauphin of Vionis, Count of Diosis and Valentinius, Duke of Normandy, ruled the Dauphinate as the first Dauphin of France, 1350, 1364, and ruled the Dauphinate as King of France, 1364 to 66. Look at now, page up. Now I want y'all to just look at this. Watch, we gonna get good. Oh, we just gonna get good. The Holy Roman Emperor. Look at Charles IV, 1360 all the way to 78, receiving thorns of the crown of Christ from John II or Juan II. Fresco at Carlsen Castle, founded in 1348 AD by Charles IV. The castle served as a place for safekeeping the imperial regalia, as well as the Bohemian Czech coronation jewels, holy relics, and other royal treasures. Czech Republic. Yeah, page up. Oh yeah, look at the pictures. We're gonna keep going. The Holy Roman Emperor, the fourth, Charles, places the relic on a thorn from the crown of Christ in a reliquary, in like a safe place per se, holy place. Fresco at Carlsen Castle, founded 1348 AD by Charles IV. The castle served as a place for safekeeping the imperial regalia, as well as Bohemian Czech coronation jewels, holy relics, and other royal treasures. Page up. Look at these pictures. Woo! Look at that.
Come on now.
Come on now. Charles IV, the Holy Roman Emperor, and the third wife, Anna of Schwedenitz, the Switnica, or the Switnica. Look at that. Look at that, family. The Golden Bull and the electors of 1356, 1806 AD. The Golden Bull, issued by Charles IV, 1356, clarifies the new identity, which the Holy Roman Empire has been gradually adopting. It ends papal involvement in the election of German king by the simple means of denying Romans' right to approve or reject the elector's choice.
Papal
In return, yes, sir. In return, by separation agreement with the Pope, Charles Urbanus imperial claims in Italy, apart from a title to the kingdom of Lombardy inherited from Charlemagne. And see, in these pictures, yeah, it's like we got the pictures of the Moors playing chess, all that. People want to denounce the picture. I said, you can't denounce the history because the Europeans going to denounce you. The scholars, that's the truth sayers. That's the 5%ers. They're telling the truth. They're real historians. Germany tapestry, 1400 AD, depicting black soldiers defeating a black king and queen in the windows from attacking white men called by whites, wild men, and Moors.
What's the name of it again?
The wild men and Moors.
Come on.
Called by whites, the wild men and Moors.
Mm-hmm.
The emphasis is clear. This is now to be essentially a German empire, as reflected in a new form of the title adopted in 1452, Sacrum Romanium Imperium Nationis Germanessa, Holy Roman Empire of the German nations. The Golden Bull also clarifies and formalizes the process of election of a German king. The choice has traditionally been in the hands of 7 electors, but their identity has varied. The Golden Bull explicitly named the 7 Kurstens or prince electors who were to choose the king of the Romans, who would then usually be crowned Holy Roman Emperor by the Pope later. The 7 prince electors were 3 prelates, were the arch-chancellor of Germany, Mainz, Gaul, and Burgundy, Trier, and Italy, Cologne, respectively. The Bohemian cupbearer, the Palsgrave, the Seneschal, and the Saxony Marshal, and the Brandenburg Chamberlain. Consequently, the bull speaks on the Rex in Imperatorium Promovenus, the king to be promoted emperor in English, although the distinction between the two titles will become increasingly irrelevant and virtually non-existent after Maximilian I had renounced his coronation as emperor in 1508. See, this is history. Watch this. We're going to get deeper. Even though the practice of the election had existed earlier, and most of the dukes named in the Golden Bull were already involved in the election, and although the practice had mostly been written down in the earlier document, the Declaration of Rennes from 1338, the Golden Bull was more precise in several ways. How? Watch this. The dukemans of the electors were declared indivisible, and succession was regulated for them to ensure that the votes would never split. Think about this now. Secondly, the bull prescribed that 4 votes would always suffice the elect, the new king. And as a result, 3 electors could no longer block the election. Think about this. And the principles of the majority voting was explicitly stated for the first time in the empire. And finally, family, the bull cemented a number of privileges for the Crustans to confirm their elevated role in the empire. Is therefore also a milestone in the establishment of largely independent states in the empire, a process to be concluded only years later and centuries later, but notably with the 1648 peace of the Westphalia or Thalia. Now look at all these pictures. You can see the battle.
For a second.
You say what, Noble?
I thought it said West Pad for a second.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The battle of Grunwald. Look at that. Keep going, because I'm a page up, because I'm gonna get the go. I want you to look at the pictures, because we're gonna speed it up. You see that? Look at this picture with that. Look at that picture right there. Look at that picture right there, y'all. Okay.
That's a swordy man.
Yeah. The first picture was the Battle of Grunwald. It was the Battle of Tannenberg. It took place on July 15th, 1410, between the Kingdom of Poland and the Grand Duchy of Lithuania. One on one side, estimated 39,000 troops, and the Teutonic Knights of the Holy Roman Empire on the other, about 27,000 troops. So in the battle, the Teutonic Order was defeated and never recovered its former influence. And the picture illustrates the moment when Ulrich von Juningen, the 26th Grand Master of the Teutonic Order, left dressed in white with a black cross, is killed by the infantry. Vuctatus the Great is shown in triumph position, center dressed in red. Look at the pictures. Center dressed in red. Now we get into the good stuff. We're going to get deeper. Close up. The Battle of Grunwald. The moment when Ulrich von Juningen, the 26th, the Grand Master of the Teutonic Order, dressed in white, is killed by infantry. Let's go on. Pull up the picture. Go up, go up, go up. Let's look at more pictures. What are we looking at? Come on, man. The hours of the anytime cavalry or chivalry is one of the most famous and lavish illuminated manuscripts of the 15th century. It was painted for the treasurer of France by John Fouquet or John Fett or Fouquet, the court artist to King Charles VII, and the fourth, Louis. Big Lou. Where Big Lou at? Who worked only as a miniaturist or a miniaturist. So when you look that up, you're like, okay, well, I see. Got to start looking these things up. But also as a panel painter. Did a lot of things. The Lehman miniature decorates the page that contains the opening words of the evening prayer, the Vespers, the hours of the Holy Spirit. Research it. It shows the faithful standing in the foreground on a terrace, looking up at the hand of God as demons flee to the left and the right. The subject is highly unusual, as the topographically the accurate depiction of the medieval Paris. So what you're looking at is this artwork, is this pictorial of medieval. And when I say medieval, these times. First, these times before, in which the Cathedral of Notre Dame.
So these medieval times is stepping away from all the natural essence of what we're supposed to be doing, because it's so evil. It's our lower self of what we not supposed to be doing. So it's like we in our lower chakra. That's that medieval time.
But also in this aspect, when they say medieval time, and you would think it was something scary, or you would say the Dark Ages, that those times is going to show your history. It wasn't nothing evil, wasn't nothing dark for you. We got to understand how can I say, what it's saying in the word. It's almost like a person to get that book, the demonology of King James, and they'll say, well, see, King James, the devil did this, and never read it. That's how you know somebody never read nothing. And then they don't even get historical and talk about the ones before this. And you can see how, no disrespect, but they all copied you. You know what I mean?
Copied you.
And you were whitewashed out of history. But Islam on that, Noble, Malik, Islam. But it shows the faithful standing at the right ground, but the subject is highly unusual. And the spear of Saint Chapelle, the Pont Saint Michael, and other monuments of the Adel de la Sea, including the Hotel de Nacelle, where the figure standing and immediately recognizable. Now, the King of France, the 7th. Now I'm gonna start showing y'all things. I'm gonna start showing you pictures and different whitewashing of history, but just stay in context. I'm gonna speed it up because we got time to talk about the other document. I got some better for Sunday school. Just be coming to me. But the House of Habsburg, Frederick III, where you see the Holy Roman Empire. So page up, look at the picture. And from medieval manuscript, the person responsible for whitenizing this picture apparently didn't understand that the figures were supposed to be symmetrically in skin color too. He whitenized the living, but left the dead showing the normal variations in skin color. Y'all didn't even text me, did y'all?
Oh yeah, I caught you. I caught you whitenizing everything.
You see, you messed up.
Living people still. He tried to whitenize the living people, and then made the dead people with the regular skin color, the variations in skin color. And is that a dunce hat on somebody's head, or what is that? That's not a dunce hat.
It could be, but that's a fez per se. Just like okay, now let's go deeper. Just like J.A. Rogers and 100 Amazing Facts about the dimension of a black man. All that stuff is from the Black Saints in Seville, and all the attire. That's why I be telling people, hey, you can't get mad at what it is. Can't get mad. Message.
Oh, they can get mad. They should be mad at the truth.
That's right. But the truth will make you free. See? The Book of Hours, the Origin of France, Paris, date from 1480 circa to 1490. 3 living and 3 dead. The miniature of the 3 living, a pope and an emperor, Frederick III and a king, and 3 dead were wearing a mitre, a large crown and a small crown, decorated initial D, ellipse, and foliated borders at the beginning of the office of the dead. Attribution, style of the master of Jaques de Biscon, Maximilian the 22nd, March 1459, January the 12th, 1519, the son of Frederick III, the Holy Emperor, and the Eleanor of Portugal, was king of the Romans, also known as king of the Germans, from 1486, brothers, and the Holy Roman Emperor from 1493 until his death. though he was never in fact crowned by the Pope, the journey to Rome always being too risky. He had ruled jointly with his father for the last 10 years of his father's reign. He expanded the influence of the House of Habsburg through war and his marriage in 1477 to Mary of Burgundy, the heiress of the Duchy of Burgundy. But he also lost the Australian territories in today's Switzerland to the Swiss Confederacy. Look at this. Look. The Holy Roman Emperor, Maximilian I. It's a cast silver Scarlingen, minted in 1505. You can be mad all they want to. Margaret Australia. I just want to go on and show y'all pictures because I want to go to the next. To the next thing. I want to get to the good part. Let's get to you see the coat of arms. Yeah, let's pass that. Ding, let's stop. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Big bit of bop, boom. Look at that. Stop right there. Look at that. Described as the Renaissance cameo of the African king, the 16th century. Italy, Cabinet des Medailles, National Library of France, analyzing crown type, clothing type, and border designs. The cameo is obviously of a European king. So all those pictures I want to fast forward because I can show you other history when I be talking about whitewashing of history books, when they try to take stuff off and paint over it, but then they be forgetting to do it on all the other ones and be like, well, all these is family and that's their son and all that. Well, how can they be this, and that? They'd be like, oh, wait a minute, I done messed up. Yeah, because in the Maccabee, the Gentile, the heathen tried to whitewash themselves in the history books. And the scholarship book, Russian Icons by Vladimir Ivanov, snitch on them. And Vladimir Dale's dictionary of what an Arab, A-R-A-P, consists of, bust their head open wide more. And Vladimir Dale's dictionary of what an ancient Arab is consists in. What more can I say? Huh?
What more can I do? The truth is right for you.
Come on, real talk, Noble Malik. Look at this, the mid-16th century Italian cameo, sardonyx and gold, formerly of the Milton Wheel collection, 1938. Come on, man. Come on, go. Let's look at the other brother. Oh, look at the brother. Look at the brother. Blow that up a little bit, Noble. Brian Hicks Bay. Look at that brother. Late 16th century cameo ring, probably Italian, Venice. It's in the type of jewel, sardonyx, and gold, formerly of the Milton Whale collection, 1938. Uh-oh. Then look, then look what they started doing. No disrespect. Late 16th century Italian cameo. It's in gold as well. Same company, by convention of the times. Only black and mulatto nobility, some would say the only true nobility, were depicted with pearl earrings. Thus, this person was either black or mulatto. It should be noted that the medieval times, the household staff, in particular, those attending on the Lord, these positions were filled by men and boys of rank, sons of the Lord's relatives, or his retainers. I hope y'all follow me. Watch this. Philip I, 1478, 1506, known as Philip the Handsome, was the first Habsburg king of Castile, the son of Maximilian I, the Holy Roman Emperor. Philip inherited the great part of the duchy and the Burgundy and the Burgundian Netherlands as Philip IV from his mother, Mary of Burgundy, and briefly succeeded to the crown of Castile as the husband of Queen Joanna of Castile, who was also heiress to the crown of Aragon. Sound familiar? Aragon? He was also the first Habsburg monarch in Spain. He never inherited his father's territories, nor became the Holy Roman Emperor, because he precedes his father. But his son, Emperor Charles IV, eventually united the Habsburg, Burgundy, Castile, and Aragonese inheritance. Look at the pictures and the monuments. Elector Frederick III. No disrespect, look at it. And then you got the, no disrespect, the albino, the fake. Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. Look at his jaw, look at that, and then go down to the albino fake. See, this was a scholarship. We went over this in academia and class. No one can be mad. You're like, well, Sheik, oh, yeah, I know. Repainted by albinos or albinos, you know, to appear as an albino. I mean, it is what it is. Said to be Joan or Johannan the First, 1468, 1535. The Constant, the Elector of Saxony, by Lucas Cranches, the Elder. That's why you got to always be, if as an educator, as a scholar, you just can't take things for face value. Be like, okay, well, what about this? And then you'll start to know it's whitewash. The Metropolitan Museum of Art, New York, accompanying text. These posthumous portraits of the Saxon electors, French of Frederick III, the Wise, and Johann I, the Constant, belongs to a series of 60 such portraits pairs, ordered by Joanne first or Joann's the first sons and a successor. Just like they wanted you to paint a picture of the Messiah, some picture of Paul, Tom. Michelangelo couldn't find nothing, so what he painted? Caesar Borgia. It's just facts. Johannan, Frederick I, the magnanimous, when he became elector in 1532, he intended the portraits of his father and uncle to serve as instruments of propaganda. Please see the accompanying x-ray of this painting. Look at this painting. Go back. You jumped over. Oh, yeah. Yeah. See, they be mad. Well, what were you trying to say? Hey, man, don't go with the cat. You feel me? Going with the cat. Going with the cat. Metropolitan Museum of Art. Fact check me. New York x-ray of bogus Johannan I, 1468, 1532. The Constant, Elector of Saxony portrait. The x-ray shows the portrait originally shown Johann I to be a misnomer black man with full lips. Huh? What it look like to you, Brian? What the picture look like to you?
Look like a Moor to me.
Yeah. Because, yeah. Pope Eugene IV, born in Venice, Italy. Look. Pope Eugene, 1383, 1447. Born Gabriele Condorum. He was born in Venice to a rich merchant family. Pope George VII, with his maternal uncle. He was Pope 1431 to his death in 1447. He is the last pope to take the name Eugene upon his election. Page up, brother. Page up. And do it. Now slide it to your left and move to your right. Yeah. Francisco II Gonzaga Marquez of Mantua, Italy, 1466, 1519. Ippolita Gonzaga, daughter of Francisco II Gonzaga, Marquis of Mantua, Italy, bronze medal by Jacopo di Trezzo, 1552. Francisco II, or Gonzalez, 1466, 1519, was the ruler of the Italian city of Mantua from 1484 until his death. He married Isabella d'Este in 1490. He was descended as short, pop-eyed, snub-nosed, and exceptionally brave. And he was regarded as the finest knight in Italy. Later, he was a rival of the Ventians as leader of the Holy League formed by Pope Julius II against them. In that occasion, he was captured by the Venetians, who held him as hostage for several months and humiliated him. Being in 1503, he started a long relationship with Lucrezia Borgia. On his death from syphilis, contracted from prostitutes, he was succeeded by his son Federico, with Isabella acting as regent. His other son, Ferdinand Gonzaga, originated the branch of the Counts of Guastalla. So, of course, we know the history of Martin Luther, you know, the 10th of November, 1483, February 18th, 1546, German priest, professor of theology, an iconic figure of the Protestant reform. When black people talk about, oh, I've been baptized. Well, the Protestants still said you were the slave. I got the books. No disrespect. Well, I'm a Christian. Yeah, a black slave. We know. No disrespect, though, at all in that context. He strongly disputed the claim that freedom from God's punishment for sin could be purchased with money. He confronted indulgence salesman Johann Tetzel with his 95 thesis in 1517. His refusal to retract all of his writings at the demand of Pope Leo in 1520 at the Holy Roman Emperor. That's when Charles and the diet of worms he had died. They all died, you know, and condemned, and he was outlawed by the emperor. But I want to just go up and start showing more history. Go up a little bit more. Go to the melanation. Go bam, because we got to start looking at things and be like, wait a minute, start thinking about things, and then start seeing how the writings and say, well, it got to be from this area. Why? Because the alphabet. Start thinking. You know what I mean? Noble Lamarck is not going to have pictures of himself and his family in the regions in, say, in German, in Sprechen die Deutsch. If he don't understand or ain't the culture, he would have it in a language that he understands or that he's familiar with. Am I right about what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You're
sir.
right about that.
Okay, so think about that. As Noble Brian said, wrap your mind around this. Oh man, what did he say, man? Gratitude for the teaching. Thank you, brother, for being here. I told you, I'm gonna always teach. That's why I said we done went to high school and all that, college and everything, all these years. Man, come on. And in this little bit of time, I'll have enough time to teach what I know, what I can regurgitate, and can build your library and teach not only you, our kids, we can build this nation the right way. Albrecht von Hohenzollern, 1490, 1568, y'all. Look at him, like he got like beads in his hand. Look how the Masonics take a lot of the regalia. You know, the first Duke of the Duchy of Prussia, the 37th Grand Master of the Teutonic Knights, the Grand Master. You heard me? Look at Dorothea, Princess of Denmark and Duchess of Prussia, 1504-1547. She was the daughter of King Frederick I of Denmark and Anna of Brandenburg. She married Duke Albert of Prussia. So the portrait of Dorothea above from Frederiksberg Castle, Dorothea, Princess of Denmark, the mother Anna of Brandenburg, 1487-1514, was a German noblewoman. I got pictures of my wife, grandmother's mother's mother, as the noblewoman, tribal woman, saying that they free. When we talk about the 5 tribes, and she got the turban on and her nobility, you know how Superman had his hair with a curly Q? Her great grandmother hair got the curly Q. Like that. I said, oh my God. And then she's sitting just like Prophet Noble Dralina with her left foot forward. I said, oh my God. My empress got the pictures. That's why when I be meet elders, they say you teaching the right science. We ain't gravitating to no man-made this, no end. That ain't what we talking about. Not me. I connect myself to God. Period. No matter what you call it. We can play linguistics. But after her father's ascension to the throne in 1523, a marriage was suggested. So I don't want to stay and read that. That'll take too much time. So let's pull up to the Teutonic Knights and look at these coats. The cross of the Teutonic Order, the coat of arms of the Teutonic Order, the Grand Master, the alternate coat of arms of the Teutonic Order, the coats of arms of the Teutonic Order. Don't these look familiar? The one on the end and the one on the two. Don't that look like somebody had on their shield? Don't it? Huh?
Yep.
Come on, brothers. Talk to me.
Well, you right.
Okay. The Order of the Brothers of the German house of Saint Mary in Jerusalem. Official names, Latin, Ordo Domus, Santri, Marie, Tepticorium. I'm not going to say them all because everybody don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But commonly called the Teutonic Order was the German medieval military, or in modern times, a purely religious Catholic order. I don't want to stay too far on that. We're gonna proceed because I want us to see things. Page up, until you get to John Elector of Saxony, 1468, until you get to that monument. The brother and the successor of Frederick III, the wise of Saxony, the house of the Witten, Father Ernest, Elector of Saxony, Mother Elizabeth of Bavaria. Page up. You see it. Pictures by Marian and John of Saxony, known as John the Steadfast or John the Constant, Elector of Saxony, 1468-1532, by Marian, his son Philip, to the handsome, to the future queen, Joanna of Castile in 1498. Maximilian established the Habsburg dynasty in Spain and allowed his grandson Charles to hold the throne of both Leon Castle and Aragon, thus making him the first de jure king of Spain. See? Philip having preceded his father, Charles succeeded his grandfather, Maximilian, as what? The Holy Roman Emperor in 1519, and thus ruled both the Holy Roman Empire and the Spanish Empire at the same damn time. So keep going. So page up, because I don't want to stay too many teachers. I want people to just catch on where we're going with this. Which of these is a true likeness of Charles? When we go up Charles V, the Carlos Quinto or Quinito question. That's where, yeah, let's get there. Let's keep going. The Spanish book on Charles Quinto. And then you got Henry VII, the left, with Charles, the right, and Pope Leo, center, circa 1520, right? That's what they say. Let's look at it. Remember that picture of the brother at the top when they whitewashed him, but we saw the original, right? Already. I'm showing you, right? Remember? Okay. I hope things got to start sticking. The medal of Charles Quinto, page up, Emperor Charles, seated, painted a tribute to Titan, 1548. Oh, look at the chin, look at the chin. Are these more mulattoized or mulattoized? You know, term mulatto depictions accurate? Are they accurate? Question mark. Are they accurate? Are they accurate? See, these the things in scholarship. What I said, we have to do this. We can go to these places and say, no, these are not accurate. That's why I got ancient books that cost thousands and thousands of how things were whitewashed. Russian icons is one of them. And no, they weren't no ancient blacks. They were Russian icons. And David McRitchie told you that you were ancient and modern Britons. It's no disrespect. And then I got Godfrey Higgins and all the other first church fathers and writers that wrote all over in the Negro question that's saying the same thing, that pinpointing what was happening. So we got to get with the right knowledge. The right knowledge is right here. No, they not. They lies. No disrespect to no one. If you was in school and you came with would your professor that's biased, would he might let you pass if he's not a scholar? But if a real educator and a person that's a real scholar student, that's a noble student, that's an adapt thinker, and go and fact check that, everything that somebody will bring with them false pictures would be proven fallacy, will be proven false. You can take it to the court of law and say and get an unbiased judge or whatever you want to call it. He'll say, well, this man has proved his facts. What are you steady going on for? You don't have to like him. He proved his case. He can rest his case. You don't have to like that man, Candor. Come with the facts. Come with the facts. Oh, I think I feel. You done. Oh, I feel this. Oh, I heard. You done. You done. Contempt of court. You know, the race of the Inca. This word's going to get good. Remember that little video I sent y'all? That little TikTok video. Think of that little TikTok video with those Incas, and it's showing you all that I sent y'all. I said, everything that you're going to see on the internet, we have the history. The race of the Incas, as well as the Holy Roman Emperor, who later came to rule during the reign of Charles V, has been long in contention. 2 old paintings with province in Peru answers both the questions. The Inca king list. Look at these pits. Look now. And then you're going to start looking at the bottom, and we're going to start teaching. And then when I get to a part, you'll be able to blow one of the pictures up. you'll be able to say, click here for a blow up of the entire painting. And then the other one will say, click here for a blow up of the middle part of the painting. And I want you to do that if you can. But let me read the caption. Take a good look, my brothers and sisters, where we should be like, fact check, fact check. We got to. We got to. We got to. Watch this. Look at the pictorial, my brothers and sisters. For everybody want to look at pictures. For everybody want to denounce what we saying they can't. It's not scholarship. It's feelings. I'm dealing with scholarship. The painting in the Larco Museum. You heard me. In Lima, Peru. Where? In Peru. Look it up. The painting depicts the Inca emperors and the subsequent European emperors of the Inca. It's being with Manco Capasa, the legendary first Sapa Inca, top left side, and his sister Mama Hako. If I'm pronunciating it wrong, forgive me. Top right side. The painting also depicts the Holy Roman Emperor, Mr. Charles Quinto, as the first European emperor of the Inca. The rest were Spanish kings. Watch this. The painting can be dated circa 1800 because the last two entries are Carlos III, Charles III, and the 24th Inca emperor, and his son, Carlos IV. Then you got Charles IV, House of Bourbon, and the 25th Inca emperor. Then you got Charles. Then you got the oh man, this is crazy. Then you got Charles IV reign as King of Spain from December 14, 1788 to March 19, 1808. You know, I did hit this favor of his son, Ferdinand VII. Can you click on that picture? And you're gonna see something. Can you click on it? Go page up when it says click on the. Did you do that already?
I don't think it won't let me click it because it's
okay. It's okay. It's okay. Well, a panel from the painting in the Larco Museum in Lima, Peru, depicting the Inca emperors. You can stay right there on that panel. The Inca emperors. This panel shows the last 7 Inca emperors as the subsequent first European emperor of the Inca, the Holy Roman Emperor Charles, Carlos Quinto, and the 15th Inca emperor. But the painting can be dated to circa 1800 because the last 2 entries of Carlos III, Charles III, and the 24th Inca emperor and his son Charles IV, with this the 4th of Charles IV, House of Bourbon, and the 25th Inca emperor. That Charles reigned as King of Spain, December 14, 1788 to March 19, 1808. Now watch this though. Look at this, y'all. Are y'all seeing them? Now watch this. You gotta see it. The panel depicts European kings. Philip IV of Spain, Felipe IV, 1605, 1665. We're ready to get good. House of Habsburg was the last black king of Spain. You heard me. And his son Charles II of Spain, Carlos Secundo, 1661, 1700. The last Habsburg to reign in Spain was apparently a mulatto. The painting can be dated circa 1800 because the last 2 entries I told y'all, also Carlos Tercerio, Charles III, the 24th Inca emperor, and his son, the 4th Charles of Bourbon, as the 25th Inca emperor, and then the other Charles, the 4th, reigned as what? King of Spain. I gave you the dates, December 1788, March 19, 1808, in favor of his son, Ferdinand VII. Look at this, the bottom panel of the painting of Larco Museum in Lima, Peru, which dates the Inca emperors. The date can be dated circa 1800, as I just eloquently explained earlier. Watch this. Oh, let me see, do I got my book that I just got not too long ago? Oh, I think I put it up. Oh, y'all, this on the cover. This is so good. Hold on. Oh man, y'all. Oh well, I'll show it another day. Oh, too bad. I'll show it another day. I just got the book. Page up, Noble. Brian.
what I find interesting? That these
Yes,
dates,
sir.
these Spanish dates, they kind of they coincide with the dates that the Spanish were in Florida. You know what I'm saying? And make a little bit more sense as to why Spanish Florida is a little bit different from the colonized Georgia in the sense as far as the slavery aspect.
Page up. And I just got my book with the brother on the cover, and it's showing all the monuments and the pictures, the history, the documents. I have to find. I got to put up, but I got documents and facts that can cross-reference all through everything that we talk about. You know, why can we can now say with great confidence that this picture depicts who, y'all? Who that picture depict? Y'all looking at the picture? Who that picture depict? Charles? Who?
Charles the Fifth.
Okay, look at the picture. I just got the book with him on the cover.
He actually look like one of my friends named KG.
The Holy Roman Emperor Charles. Look at him. 1500, 1558. No, they know they. Well, man, I'm done playing. We ain't even finna go there. We got too much scholarship. Page up. Ducat issued in 1537 during the period when Charles V occupied Württemberg. Look at that. Look at that coin. Oh, they really, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Don't be mad. Said to be Christopher Lee Moore. Get it? Moore. Said to be Christopher Lemore. Get it? Moore. In courage of the Holy Roman Empire, Charles V, painted by the Dutch painter, John or Juan Masterik, circa 1520. It is said to be the oldest painting of a black man in Europe. It is titled dismissively as Portrait of an African. As always, degenerated albinos, seek to portray all blacks, when not as slaves or servants, then as Africans. In this way, they preclude all possibilities of them being native Europeans. But see, we got the scholarship to destroy all the crap. Russian Icon by Vladimir Ivanhoe. Ancient and Modern Bridges by David McRitchie. Godfrey Higgins. We got too much proof. Page up, page up. Oh, let's look at more pictures. Page up. People they love pictures so much. Let's give them pictures. Look at the brother. Probably Charles V, the Holy Roman Emperor, by virtue of the time frame and his Habsburg jaw. The Habsburg jaw. Mandenburger. Prognostium. Prognosticism. In typically lion albino fashion, this painting is falsely called a Belteshazzar, the Moorish king, circa 1525, by the Dutchman Jules van Cleve. Not the clothing, the clothing is European. The scepter is European. The orb is European. No similarities with the scepter, orb, and the imperial crown of Austria. Look at it. So tell them to stop the cap, y'all. Like we done. None of that attire is African. And then they messed up. Look how they white. Look at the hands. Look what they be doing. Look at the face. Look at the whole neck. Everything. Look at the hands. Stop the cap. You see the hands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right hands.
They be forgetting. The modern scepter orb and the imperial crown of Austria. Page up. Look at it. Look, page it up. Don't it look familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Don't it look familiar? What do the brother got on? Look at his attire. Don't it look the same to you? Because it is. The other brother, because it is. It is. Look at the scepter. Look at everything in the hand. Look at everything. Want me to tell y'all some more science? Okay, I'm gonna show y'all something that's on that Elon Musk wear. He wear this ancient, I call it what's the ancient word? It almost looked like the top. It almost looked like the top of the crown, but it's an ancient artifact. And I'm gonna show y'all because I got them. I've been keeping it in my box, but now I got something to wear it. I'm gonna show y'all. Watch. Everything comes from your science. Watch this. But the painting also tells the story about the political situation in Europe. After 1800, we find that at the time the painting was created, circa 1800, the Spanish still depicted Jesus as a black man. In later painting of the Inca kings, the Holy Roman Emperor and the Spanish king in the Cathedral de Lima in Lima, Peru, we find a whitewashed version of the painting in the Larco Museum in Lima, Peru. This sets the time for the Spanish at least as circa 1800, when the Europeans began what? Whitening blacks out of the history books. See, nobody can be mad at me. Man, I done did this in college. You can click for a blow up of the painting in the cathedral, the dilemma in Lima, Peru. You know how I'm showing you the whitewashed. This history. We know that during the 30-year wars and the subsequent wars, the mid-1600s, the black Catholics were defeated by the forces of the insurgents, albino Protestants. The albinos tell us that there were black nobles who were supporters of the Protestants. That may not be true. In investigating that sufficiently, great occurrence could have taken place at about the time the painting was made to create a climate in Europe so hateful of black people that there would be a mass movement to write blacks out of the history. We see only one such thing, the rise of Napoleon in the Spanish territories. The change over from a black Jesus to an albino Jesus coincides with the kingship in Spain of Napoleon's brother, Joseph. See, we go keep fact checking. They can be mad. The question of when did the Spanish begin to write blacks out of history appears answered by the reign of Joseph Napoleon Bonaparte, 1768-1844. He was the elder brother of Napoleon Bonaparte, who made him king of the Naples in Sicily, 1806-1808, and later king of Spain, 1808-1830, as Jose I, or Jose I. It is known that Napoleon Bonaparte hated blacks, as evident by the attempt to destroy the Great Sphinx in Egypt. Come on now. It is reported that Napoleon had his troops use the nose and lips of the Great Sphinx for target practice. Now, and you're gonna now page up. Now I want to show y'all some pictorial. You know, why your picture look different? Where you at? You ain't got the picture where he got his hand in his jacket? Oh yeah, go. Okay, bam. You're gonna see Negro Masons, European Masons. You're gonna always see them with their hand in their jacket. You're gonna always see our prophet and all that with our hands outside our coat. Think about that. And we standing strong on the set. I told y'all Peter Lambert Wilson. I quoted Peter Lambert Wilson in the introduction of one of my books. He giving credit to the prophet. He's showing how he's, man, let me proceed. Napoleon in this 30 at the Turliers, 1820. But is this really what happened? One should never use Wikipedia as a primary source. That's why I said, if you was in school dealing with me, trying to debate me and with all this stuff you pull off the internet and Wikipedia, my professor would have been like, or my chair would have been like, man, don't come messing with this man. They're like, you coming with a whole bunch of stuff you got off of Wikipedia. And I'll be telling people, stop. Just stop the cap. But you can't use that as no source. It is often inaccurate and on racial matters, often lies in support of the albion or the albino, falsifying history. But it does provide a general view of times of Napoleon. It does. Of particular interest is that Napoleon's father, Carlo Bonaparte, in his portrait appears to have been a mulatto. Go page up. See, Napoleon's father, Carlo Bonaparte. In a study done in 2011 titled Haplogroup of the Y chromosome of Napoleon I by Gerard Leco, Theory, Chomset, Peter, Frockrendan, it was determined that Napoleon's male line descended from an African of the E1, B1, B1, C1 haplogroup. Research it. Just like it's some sisters now saying that J. Edgar Hoover is family. And I be telling people, you gotta listen to me. Tell them they lie. Additionally, in contrast, when they doing the genetics and the blood, you can't deal with the blood. We got to deal with the blood. That's how crimes get solved after years. Or what? The data, the blood, DNA. Stop the cap. Additionally, in contrast to his supposed portrait at the Turliers, Napoleon's deathbed portrait depicts a dark man Page up. There you go. Start right there. The Titarius portrait then would be in keeping with the albinos' determination to make everyone of historical significance albino. Think about this now. Napoleon on his deathbed by Horace Vernet, 1826. Though Napoleon's black blood does not preclude his startling the mass albino movement to write blacks out of history, who knows what a mulatto in a state of racial confusion might be capable of. No disrespect. But what it does do is open the possibility that Napoleon's domination of Europe was the last straw for the albinos, after which they were resolved to remove all vestiges of black and the black influence of Europe, in which case the falsification didn't happen during his reign. They occurred as the result of his reign, and the reports of Napoleon's attempt to destroy the Sphinx by having his cannoners use his face as target practice. That's just another albino lie. The Turks might well have been the culprits. You know, it's a possibility that perhaps Napoleon saw himself as a man of color, fighting the albinos, or albinos, forces, which has captured and now control Europe. Might then the real purpose of this Egyptian escapade in 1791, because he wanted to be a pharaoh, y'all, think about it, been to secure a source of black troops, certain quotes attributed to him, seems to suggest a certain empathy toward the wrecked conditions of the blacks in Egypt. Quote, Chandler, 220, during the day, the troops distributed leaflets containing Napoleon's proclamation to the people of Egypt. In it, he proclaims the coming of the French to be the will of Allah, to restore their rights and the freedom and free them from the tyranny of the Mamelukes. De Bourgneil 71 also it declares, and I quote, what wisdom, what talents, what virtues distinguish the Mamelukes, so that they have exclusion possession of everything that makes life sweet and enjoyable. So page up. I'm going to go down a little bit to the Black Statue of Liberty. If we see Napoleon as a self-identified man of color, we can see, can we then give credence to an investigation done by albinos concerning the original intent and look of the Statue of Liberty? We just give it history. Here's a very strange coincidence of history which borders on a metaphysical, as evidenced by Benjamin Franklin's essays of 1751. By the time the Britain had rid itself of most of its native blacks, and the British were then dreaming of the whole of Europe and North America being pure albino. Later, the dream was realized when the albinos of continental Europe, no doubt with the British help, killed off or enslaved and expelled to North America and the Caribbeans, all of the swarties, as Franklin called them. The British ships were used to transport them across the Atlantic. You can research it, The American as a Land of Opportunity, author Benjamin Franklin, year 1751. Type of document, which leads to add this remark, no disrespect, that the number of purely white people in the world is proportionally very small. This Benjamin Franklin. All Africa is black or tawny. Asia chiefly tawny. America exclusively of the newcomers, wholly so. And in Europe, the Spaniards, Italians, brothers, the French, the Russians, and the Swedes are generally of what we call a swarty complexion, as are the Germans also. The Saxons only accepted. The Saxons only accepted, who with the English make the principal body of white people on the face of the earth, the Anglo-Saxon. Just like my European professor, he said, hey, I'm just telling the truth. He's a scholar. You say the Jews that say that the Jews are the synagogue of Satan. They're not going to say they Anglo-Saxons. They're not going to say that they Caucasians, Asians from the Caucasus. They're not going to say it. They're not going to say that actually they got more than 2% of Neanderthal DNA in their blood. This what professors say. I got professor from Harvard. I can give this, talk to them. And you get mad at them. Don't be mad at me. I'm trying to show you how to liberate yourself and say you're not a piece of dirt. And we ain't gonna let nobody tell you who you are. You know? But anyway, he said all the Germans, all that. He said, I could wish the numbers were increased. And while we are, as I may call it, scoring our planet by clearing America of woods, and so making this side of our globe reflect a brighter, lighter to the eye of the inhabitants in Mars or Venus, why should we, in the sight of our superior beings, darken his people? Yeah, I gave y'all that already. See, with this stuff we get to talk about in academia, when we let people say, you can't talk about this, but then like they try to say, God's name is too holy for them to say. Why? Don't they say, what they be saying in the church? Emmanuel. Don't they be saying that, y'all? Am I right or am I wrong? Have y'all ever heard that church song? Watch this. Watch this. Yes or no?
Yep.
So who is Emmanuel? Watch this. Huh?
I know what Emmanuel means, but as far as they talking about Jesus, that's what it's supposed to be referring to.
Oh, they're talking. Wait. Okay, let's go. But I hear you. But you're right. You see what I'm saying? But it's the person to tell you the name or this, we ain't even gonna go there. Don't y'all know people don't be wanting you to talk about this? We talked about it on the college campus. I got a book of the Time magazine where Hitler tell who he calling the Bastard, and it's not you. Who he calling God's people? He's saying the same thing that the second president of Egypt said, Nasser. The reason why Israel cursed is because God people left black
and came back white.
Yes, don't be mad at me. I ain't saying stuff didn't happen. I'm not saying that, but I'm telling you that something happened with our culture too, and I'm gonna speak on it. Yeah, Hitler preached albino purity. He also, he and all of his henchmen were actually dark Europeans. The assumption that Hitler's henchmen were dark for the same reason that he was dark himself, derived from the African of the E1B1B haplogroup. Ashkenazi Jews are, of course, what? Turkic Khazars. Whatever E1B1B they might have is purely the result of the what? Recent admixture. Can't be mad at me. When you start just being researching things, be like, okay, well, yep. Can't be mad. Ain't it a strange coincidence that Napoleon and Hitler, both history, the scholars try to say, of Black African descent, they wanted so much to conquer and destroy Britain? See, y'all don't know about Adolf Hitler in his book, The Mein Kampf. See, this is scholarship. I would ever talk about this in college. That's why I said when I speak to other people, they like, you just an intellectual. When I go around Europeans that have been in things like that, they be fascinated. And I go speak in their circles. And I say, I know about all that in 1925. Why? Because I had to. If I'm a historian, 30-year wars and setting the tone for modern Germany. It was said, and I quote, Hitler states, without philosophical elaboration, the doctrine which some groups of German intellectuals accepted as a bridge across which the German mind could pass to National Socialism. Civilization means the application of reason to life. I can go on and on, but those are just quotes. I want to stay into it. Page up. We almost there. There's so much. We're going to end in a minute. The Medici dynasty. Page up. When you go to the Medici dynasty. Yeah, page up. Look at the Medici dynasty. Look at them. Medici, 1471, 1503, was the eldest son of Lorenzo de Medici, Lorenzo the Magnificent, Clarence Orsi, an older brother of the future Pope Leo, called Peru the Unfortunate. He was the Grand Maestro of Florence, 1492, until his exile in 1494. Wife, Alfonsia Orsini. Children, Lorenzo II, Duke of Urbino, father of Catherine, Alcerado. Look at the people. One of the less whitewashed. Now look at the picture next to him. One of the less white-niced portraits of him. 1492, 1519. He was the ruler of Florence from 1519 till his death, 1513 till his death, 1519. The Duke of Brino. All that. Huh? Look at it. Look at it, y'all. How they be trying to twist history up. Let's go up. Catherine de Medici. I want to stay in all of it. I want to page up because I want to speed it up. Keep going. I'm going to start showing you pictures. Now look at Alessandro de' Medici, the Duke of Florence. I can take you in Germany to the art museums, and he right there. They got banners of this brother. They got banners of him when they showing all of the blacks in Europe. Duke of Penin, and also the Duke of Florence, ruler of Florence from 1530 until 1537. Look at the brother. Look at the brother. Handsome young brother. Regale it out. Now let's look at this. Mara Saliti, the wife of military leader Giovanni, and the mother Cosmino, Grand Duke of Tuscany. The little girl holding her hand is probably Galila, the daughter of murdered Duke Alessandro de' Medici. Sicily, whitenization, aka we call it whitewashed. Can't be mad at me. Page it up. Page up, Brian. See how they whitewashed them, the mother and the daughter. See, it's whitewashed. Read the caption. Don't be mad at me. Uh-oh. Now, as you page up, Brian, remember the other day I was talking about the poochie? My homeboy said, please don't stop, man. Finish. What did he say? He said, if you like the teachings, please donate to this brother. Gratitude. I told you can come join us on, we on our stream. You can join us anytime. And gratitude for those donations that you give. Gratitude. Look at the poochie, y'all. Look at the poochie. I told y'all in Vegas, when you go to Vegas, it's one of those expensive stores. Not Gucci, it's called Poochie. Research that. The Poochie crest. The Poochie crest. We getting good. The Poochie crest on the floor of the Santissima Antazantia. The headband originally borne 3 hammers, symbol of the family's ancestral profession, later replaced by 3 T's to represent the acronym of the family motto, Temporum, Tempora, Tempera. Time is a great healer. Put it on a shirt, Nova Brian. Put it on a shirt. Time is a great healer. Uh-oh. We get good, y'all. We get to good parts. Constant allies of the Medici during the Renaissance. The Pucci were among the families. Cosimo di Medici, called upon as a means of indirectly pursuing his own political interests. Trusted Medici allies from the Pucci family included Puccio Pucci, who provided Cosimo with money to improve his living conditions in prison while Cosimo was imprisoned prior to being exiled. In the early 16th century, the Pucci family prestige rose yet higher, with it producing 3 cardinals, Roberto, Lorenzo, and Antonio Pucci, within a few decades of each other, and continuing to be trusted figures in the Medici's ducal and the Grand Ducal courts. Look at that. Look at that, Noble Brian. Blow that up. Think, oh, they done. Ain't that the coat of arms? Ain't that in the Netherlands? The Corsica flag? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Ain't that? Come on, y'all. Come on. Interest to Palazzo Pucci, which is a historic building in Florence, Italy. The same where the Ku Klux Klan copied the Black Knights. It occupies almost a block between Riscosli and the servants, and is organized in 3 nolistia corresponding to as many courtyards built by Cardinal Roberto Pucci and Lorenzo Pucci circa 1530. Man, Casanova, the memoirs of Jacques Casanova, but with almost African complexion. The portrait of Casanova by the Prince de Ligne. Look at the stay on that book page. Go back to the book page. Did you see did you pass that? Okay. I want you to read. You got to look at things. Look at everything. See, this is an old memoir. I got it. I'll send it to y'all later. This is 1902. Look at the red what's underlined. We got to look at everything. This is what they written, what they saw. He says he would be a very fine man if he was not ugly, but he is tall, built like a Hercules, but with an almost African complexion. Who we talking about? There you have, look, the damn prince. Come on now.
Hello.
Right. Hello. Hello.
Hello,
Page up.
somebody.
Yeah, page up. Look at the coin. Keep page up, Brian. We're gonna look at the pictures.
Once
King
again.
Philip the second, yeah, King Philip II of Spain, 1527, 1598. I ain't gonna stay too long with the caption. Joanne, Archduchess of Austria. Look at the Holy Roman Emperor, Ferdinand I and his son, Maximilian II, circa 1563 on the coins. Elector John Frederick I of Saxony. Elector Christian I of Taylor. Look at Maximilian II, the Holy Roman Emperor. And then when you go down and look at the coins, the Holy Roman Emperor Matthias. I want you to just look at the pictures and then get to the melanated brother. The portrait of a wealthy black man, either Flemish or German, circa 1540, in a private collection at Antwerp. Watch, page up. I'm showing you gonna be like, damn, yes. I'm telling you, keep going and watch when you get to the brother. Watch this. They be acting like they don't know. It's all in history. Bada boom. When you get to the good stuff, I told you a lot of stuff is in these people private museums. They have them. They tomb raiders. Ain't no disrespect. I had the pleasure to be around them. I told you I wait till I go back to the Catholic Church when they have the Greek fest, and I'm gonna go behind a red curtain and the gold bars and show you all the pictures of the Russian icons. Portrait of a wealthy brother, circa German, Flemish or German. This ain't Africa, Flemish or German, 1540 in a private collection. Look at the brother head. Look at this jewels. That ain't no slave. Look at this earring. Look at his beard. Could he be an Israelite? Yeah. Because in the lexicon, the follower of Yahshua, what they had? Beards, earrings, tunics, cotton silk. Yep. Kufis, turban with the jewel on it. High priest turban with the jewel on it. Then you go right back to the Trojan ones, Wentworth Matthews, and the Moorish Zionist temple of the Moorish Jews. Where you see who? Abdullah, that taught the European. Who? Naval Gooder, the Ethiopian rabbi. And you see that the spear builders, with the brothers of the East, who? Those holy men wore the turbans in the black church. We keep sticking the fork in it. We can go all through history. In 1593, he was appointed governor of Austria by his brother, Emperor Rudolph II. He formed a close association with there with the Bishop of Vienna, Melchior Kleisel, who later became his chief advisor. In 1605, Matthias forced the ailing emperor to allow him to deal with the Hungarian Protestant rebels. The result was the Peace of Vienna in 1606, which guaranteed religious freedom in Hungary and guaranteed the right to Transylvanians to elect their own independent princes in the future. Transylvania Sunrise, Peter Moon wrote all about our prophet. It's all in there. Spondu Mysteries, where you see all those government officials and those generals, and you see the prophet right on there. Why the prophet on there? It's a reason. In the same year, Matthias was recognized as head of the House of Habsburg and as the future Holy Roman Emperor as a result of Rudolph's illnesses. You see, aligning himself with the estate of Hungary, Austria, and Moravia, Matthias forced his brother to yield rule of these lands to him in 1608, and Rudolph later succeeded Bohemia in 1611. And Matthias' army then held Rudolph prisoner in his castle in Prague until 1611, when Rudolph was forced to cede the crown of Bohemia to his brother. Page up. Look, keep going page up. But this is what Europe looked like before the 30-year wars. The King's Foundation, Lisbon. This is what you get from Wikipedia. You got to know the Black King or the High Noble, Portugal, with the cross of the Order of Santiago on his cloak at the bottom right. At the bottom right. I'm telling you, they can be mad all they want to. It's in there. When you look at the picture, in the 16th century oil painting by an anonymous Flemish painter, the work depicts a scene in front of a fountain in Lisbon, Portugal, circa 1507. Page up. We started looking at it. It got a couple pictorials of the picture. Yeah, page up, Brian. We almost where we need to be. Oh, you don't got them other pictures with them, where they split off with them in the boat, the lady in the boat, and then they carrying the brother off. But that's okay. I think you might have passed it, but that's okay. Yeah, I want to look at the pictures. The king wears the cross of the Order of Santiago. We got to look at the caption. We got to read the caption so we can know what's going on, and then read the history, because I want you to read the history. I'm giving you the caption. I'm summarizing it now for you. I'm sparking something so you can go read it. We got to read the caption, which was founded in the 12th century and owes its name to the national patron of Galicia and Spain, Santiago, St. James the Greater. Under those banners, the Christians began in the 9th century to combat and drive back who? The Moors and the Muslims from the Iberian Peninsula. That's why we got to read this. Matthieu's policies were opposed by the more extragenous Catholic Habsburgs. No, I got to decline you. Stop now. So go to the Empress. Go to the Empress picture. I got to speed it up. A portrait of a black woman holding a clock, previously owned by the Italian painter Carlo Maratti, 1625 to 1713, named in the inventory as above. This close-up is a portrait of a large painting, which has not been made available for the public. So we're going to stop right there, and we're going to proceed, because I got some more work I got to do. I got to go do some other work, but it's more and more and more. We're going to continue on with this teaching, as we go further in it. Somebody make a note where we stopped at. There's so many more pictures. There's so many more information that we're going to fact check. So many pictures, whitewash pictures. It's just so much that we're going to deal with history. This document that I have from scholarship is huge, and people should have this. You should want this. You should go over this. You should see this, to show you how things were whitewashed, to show you the other pictures and be like, well, wait a minute. Well, what about this? Well, what about this? That's before this. And even tomorrow's Sunday school history lecture. I just want us to have a good idea of what history is about. And with that, I say peace and love and gratitude. Any questions?
Just once again, gratitude for the illumination. Gratitude for presenting this history to the world. Just much gratitude once again, man. Just much appreciated.
Gratitude to everyone. And like I said, this is a lot of information. That's why here at the BBT, we share the information. When I say brothers and students, the students is the wisdom. All these documents, all this study, I've done it for you. And it should be worth something. You should want to support something with small donations and things. I give taxes and receipts. But not only about that, like I'm saying, brothers and sisters, my doors are open for brothers to come learn and have a safe place and ask questions of history and science and spirituality. I know who I am. I know my brothers and sisters know who they are. I challenge my other brothers and sisters to know who we are, because that's what it's all about. Everything else is irrelevant. When you know who you are, then you know the Constitution has never been changed. If you know that, then you in the Constitution, then you already have all the rights. What? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Once you know who you are. Once we agree on these things, we can operate as a community, as a tribe, as a nation. We have to do that. And we can't be afraid to talk about finances. We can't be afraid to deal with our finances in our tribe instead of giving it away to Uncle Sam wittily. We got to understand that, and I love all great men before us that done that great work. That's why I study all great men. That's why I share all the wisdom with y'all from great men, no matter if they European or they melanated. It's like I had a great conversation as I closed Noble Alonzo with a European Mason brother last night. And he was saying, brother, he just asked me, did I have any of Dr. Z or Malachi Z York books? And I said, of course. He said, I knew you did. I said, brothers, I study science. I study all tablets. when I know a brother from Russia, and he said, don't people know that Dr. York's book on the Anunnaki, Russians hold that to a high standard? And I ask anybody, I tell people the science, like the man spoke 10 languages, you know what I mean? And he knew he was a Moor. I tell anybody, when he always said, don't listen to him, do your own research. And can somebody miscredit the science? Like a lot of people be trying to misquote things and never even read none of the tablets. The man wrote a plethora of books. And I don't believe there wasn't nothing in no book neither. But I compare and contrast things for wisdom. And I said we did have great men in the flesh that done things and tried things. And maybe they power corrupted them. Absolutely. I'm not in that. But I know a lot of the people in the case recanted, they recant. But the power and the structure and the wisdom and trying to liberate a brother and sister and not to be afraid. I said we got to be able to mimicate the righteousness. I mean, to mimic the good things and add value to. And I'm right here, man. That's why I tell people we don't got to, I don't care about no whole bunch of dead stuff. I give honor to that. Man, this is a living gospel. That's why I be telling people we talking about a whole bunch of dead. I don't care about a whole bunch of dead stuff at this point in my life. You shouldn't, once you come up to high wisdom, you shouldn't be worrying about putting no faith in no man or no name. That's why when we tell people Allah and Islam, we're talking about this flesh. We ain't gravitating to no man or no image or no dead gospel. We wouldn't be, our whole understanding of what I'm teaching and what y'all understand would be fallacy. This is not a dead gospel. We're missing the science of what the Creator created. We're missing the science of what's in the flesh, the creation, the Son. We're missing it. That's the aspect, you and I. I'm telling you. And once we understand that, once we come to a complexity of understanding and wisdom and not gravitate to man and a language of being stuck in a language and understand this wisdom and understanding the science, which you can't deny, we'll be better. So gratitude for all my brothers that love me. I love y'all. And gratitude to the ones that may have a quarrel with me. I love you. But you cannot deny what we talking about and what I'm illuminating. And we got to stop dissing our brothers and sisters that's done the work. Because y'all know, and I know most brothers haven't studied nothing. So with that being said, peace.
Moorish American prayer.
Yes, sir.
Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, Drew Ali, Amen, Ashay, Shalom Aleichem, Arashar, Islamism. Peace, 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 peace.
Peace, peace. Somebody get us out.
I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of me.
Anybody got our benediction?
Islam.
No? Maybe?
Islam. My Testament benediction reads as follows. And I would like to preface this by saying all praises due to the Most High God for Sheikh Kyrie, Ibn Goodman El Bay, for we have received a great light. And this is a resurrection. This is not a conversion. So when we speak and when you hear the BBT and when you hear Sheikh say, got him, the jig is up, we basically saying that the era of mental death and slavery has met its match. And
yes,
we, as the BBT, are here to proclaim our nationality and have due process and offer and welcome each of you to do the same, because it's a new era of time now. And with that, I say Islam.
Death is no friend of mine. We preach and teach life. Come on, Islam.
Life and unity.
Our talisman benediction reads as follows. May the benison of Allah be upon thee and thine, always, as thou shouldst strive to be a credit to Allah. Make haste to bestow thine acts of love upon thy brethren, and do the best to shun thine evil ones. Remember to take suckle of the breast of knowledge, wisdom, fortitude, charity, love, and all standing, that you might nourish the souls of men. Let truth be the shield in the manifest battles of falsehood. Know that Moors need not to pick the locks to the gates of paradise by means of petty or criminal theft. For behold, the key to salvation already rests within thine own hands. And yes, even though a portion of our nature is weakness, instability, and inconsistency, there still is the greater part of our nature that is divine. May Allah protect thee, guide thee, preserve thee, lengthen thy age, and give thee everlasting peace. Al-Rahman, Al-Rahim, Al-Haq, Ya Muhammin. And at the BBT, when we say Al-Haq, that's Arabic and one of the illustrious attributes of Allah, and it means the truth. And when we say Ya Muhammin, another illustrious attribute of Allah, and it means the protector. We at the BBT see ourselves as truth protectors, and we cast our net out to all true and divine light seekers to come and join on to us. For the truth has no sides, for the truth is one, as man is with Allah. And with that, we say peace and love. Islam. Peace, 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 peace,
Peace.
love and light.
I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager means. I have yet.
mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z.
Once again, this broadcast has been brought to you by mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z, where reading fundamental. Also brought to you by bindedbooks.com, where treasures are bound. Be sure to get all of your teas at My Son's Teas, the tea of teas, divinely prepared at herbsofmyaunt.com. Be sure to check out all of those musical stylings by Brian Hicks Spade at bhspademusic.com. For your everyday items and religious regalia, be sure to check out mooreshaberdasher.com. And for that everyday especial Moorish drip, be sure to check out moresachi.com. And all of these companies are powered by ALO Design Pros. Design your online business strategy today.
No such thing as failure, baby. Don't forget who made you. You can't be thinking minor when you need to be thinking major. They made you think they saved you, but it can't nobody save you. I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager means. I have yet to leave, I'm still breathing. To quit, I have no reason. I mean, I'm asleep, but I be trying to live my dream. I cannot even act if it's all easy. Either you gon' do it or you don't really. It ain't no in between. Baby, you can ask the sun. It's an everyday theme. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay at night, I